Ben Richards is an unemployed man with a short temper. Desperate for work, he visits the manager of his former factory and begs for his job back, explaining that his daughter is sick and urgently needs money. However, the manager refuses, claiming that Ben's unstable temper makes him too dangerous to rehire. With no other options left, Ben loses control and storms out. Outside, the entire world is watching the same television program, a brutal game show called The Running Man. Any contestant who survives for 30 days will win $1 million. All they have to do is evade the city's hunters, whose sole mission is to track them down and kill them on live television. Ben begins to seriously consider joining the game. When he returns home, Ben learns that the government is distributing a free television to every household. The catch is that the device only broadcasts violent game shows. During one program, newly printed money appears on screen, stamped with The Running Man, 1987. In the studio, a contestant answers question after question correctly, but after making a single mistake, he is dropped from a great height and dies instantly. Soon after, Ben's wife comes home. Both of them are tense and exhausted. Their daughter has a fever, and Ben still has no job. Sheila works at a bar, where drunk and aggressive customers constantly harass her. She suggests that Ben stay home to care for Kathy while she works extra shifts to earn more money. Ben refuses. He cannot accept his wife working in such a place. But Sheila has no other choice. In the end, Ben makes his decision. He will enter The Running Man, and promises to bring money home. Sheila understands what he means and reminds him that no contestant has ever survived the game. Ben replies that as long as he survives even one day, the payments will be enough to save their daughter. Sheila begs him to come back alive. As Ben steps forward, he realizes he is not alone in his desperation. The future before him is bleak, a world where the poor live in extreme suffering. He joins a long line of people registering for the game. An elderly, sick man suddenly collapses. Ben tries to help and demands that the guards call a doctor, but they refuse. Furious, Ben argues with them and is punished by being dragged to the back of the line. Eventually, Ben reaches the front. After hours of waiting, he enters the audition area and meets Jenny, a woman from his neighborhood. In the elevator, they are joined by another applicant, Tim Jansky, who is visibly excited to participate. The three quickly bond. The auditions begin. Contestants must pass several physical tests, which Ben clears easily thanks to his strength. Next comes a psychological evaluation filled with invasive questions. Though clearly uncomfortable, Ben still passes. In fact, his violent temper seems to impress the producers. In the end, Ben, Tim Jansky, and Jenny all advance to the final round. As they are escorted deeper into the facility, they catch a brief glimpse of the hunters, the elite killers responsible for tracking down and executing contestants. They are then taken to meet Killian, the show's producer. Before the game can begin, they must sign a contract. Killian hands Ben $1,000 as a signing bonus, and explains that surviving even 1 week will earn him more money than most people in the world make now. Killian identifies Ben as the strongest contestant, the perfect solution to the show's falling ratings. He also assures Ben that weekly payments will be sent to his wife. Ben signs the contract. When a woman is brought in for him, Ben firmly states that he loves his wife. Killian apologizes and Ben is escorted away. The guard informs Ben that his family will be relocated immediately and given new identities. He will no longer be allowed to contact his wife. Desperate, Ben asks for one final phone call and tells Sheila to take care of herself. The next day, Sheila sends Ben a family photograph and a pair of Kathy's socks, reminding him who he is fighting for. Ben receives a wrist device displaying the time he survives and the money he earns. He is then escorted away by Keenan to meet Bobby, the host of the show. Bobby opens the show by declaring America the greatest nation on earth, a place where peace is earned through hard work. He then claims that criminals are trying to infiltrate society and must be eliminated. According to him, these criminals are released into the public through the Running Man. Anyone who captures them earns a reward, after which the hunters are free to kill them. Bobby proudly announces is the purpose of the game. He suddenly introduces Ben Richards, falsely accusing him of working for national defense and selling classified information. A fabricated video is played. Ben shouts that it is all a lie, but Bobby urges the audience to remember Ben's face. He promises $10,000 to anyone who helps capture him, along with a cruel date with Ben's wife, whom he claims is entertaining soldiers. Ben is overwhelmed with rage. After the broadcast, the rules are repeated. Once the contestants enter the city, the run begins. The farther they travel, the more money they earn. and their tracking devices will not function. Each contestant receives a small recording device. Every day, they must film themselves and drop it into any mailbox. Missing a single day means instant elimination. Ben, Jenny and Tim Jansky are released. They are dropped through separate tubes into different parts of the city. Ben lands near a building stocked with clothes and supplies. He grabs what he needs and jumps into a taxi. The driver recognizes him but refuses to report him, openly rejecting the show's cruelty, allowing Ben to escape. Ben hides in an abandoned building and runs into Maury, an old friend who deals in illegal goods. Though terrified, Maury agrees to help by forging a passport. If Ben can hide overseas for 30 days, he might survive. Maury alters his appearance and prepares the documents. Ben flies to New York, checks into a hotel, fakes his daily recording, drops it into a mailbox and starts planning his next move. Meanwhile, the hunters capture and torture Maury until he gives up Ben's location. Ben senses something is wrong and watches the show, where Tim Jansky is found shopping and executed on live television. Realizing he is no longer safe, Ben flees to Boston and rents a filthy hotel room. Inside, he finds a stash left behind by a drug addict, including bags of flour and a grenade. On the second day, the hunters track him down. Ben sharpens broken glass into a weapon, escapes onto the roof, lowers himself back through the window, and hurriedly packs as gunfire erupts. He rappels down again, crashes into another room, disables a surveillance drone and tosses the grenade into the elevator shaft. The hunter's leader throws the grenade onto the elevator roof just before it explodes. The blast sends Ben crashing into a storage area beneath the basement as guards fire from outside and toxic gas floods the room. Ben follows a swarm of rats through a narrow tunnel. A massive explosion destroys the hotel and he escapes through the sewers. He records his next video, mocking the hunters and declaring that he is still alive, before crawling out through a drainage pipe. A young boy spots him. Expecting betrayal, Ben is surprised when the child offers help and brings his older brother Bradley, a rebel opposed to the government. Bradley agrees to help and secretly mails Ben's recording device. He takes Ben home, where Ben meets the family, including a small child suffering from cancer. Bradley praises Ben for outsmarting the hunters and shows him his blog analyzing the Running Man. He explains that most contestants are caught because they behave like ordinary people. Only those who completely disappear have a chance to survive. Ben stays with the family for a while. Bradley believes the game exists to punish the poor and even suspects children's illnesses are linked to government actions. In his next video, Ben accuses the government and the show's producers of exploiting the poor and urges people to stop watching. Bobby later airs the video, followed by manipulated footage that makes it appear Ben is mocking the injured families of the hunters. Furious, Bradley's mother orders Ben to leave the house. Bradley still helps Ben escape the city. They are ambushed by gas bandits, but Ben kills one with a grenade while Bradley takes down the other. Before they part ways, Bradley gives Ben a gun and the address of his friend Elton in Derry. Later, Ben watches The Running Man with a group of homeless people and sees Jenny cornered in a casino. She is captured by two teenage boys, burned alive, and claimed for the reward. Ben is devastated. He is now the last contestant left. Ben reaches Elton's remote home. Elton's mother angrily watches the show, constantly cursing Ben. Elton explains that his family has long opposed the corrupt government. His father, a police officer, was killed for speaking out. Elton believes Ben can expose the truth if he survives. He reveals a secret bunker his father built, where Ben can hide for the remaining days. Ben agrees without hesitation. That night, Ben records another message, accusing the government of destroying its own people while disguising brutality as free entertainment. He warns the public not to be deceived. Later, as he steps outside, Elton's mother suddenly grabs him and triggers an emergency alarm alerting the hunters. Ben grabs his backpack as the hunters arrive almost immediately. What they do not realize is that Ben has set traps throughout the house, disabling them one by one. Elton comes downstairs to help Ben escape, but another hunter suddenly attacks. With only seconds to react, Elton slashes the man's leg and Ben finishes him off. Ben then speaks to Killian through the hunter's visor. Thrilled by soaring ratings, Killian orders Ben to execute the wounded hunter on camera. Ben refuses and smashes the recording drone. He and Elton flee by car, but a sniper ambushes them. Elton is killed by the hunter's leader. Ben detonates a homemade explosive that Elton prepared and escapes into the water. Ben reaches the bunker's location, only to find it destroyed and buried beneath a newly built city. Alone and desperate, he hides nearby. Eventually, he decides to give the audience the spectacle they crave. As drones close in, Ben hijacks a car driven by a woman named Amelia and forces her to come with him. Amelia believes Ben is a madman just like the show portrays. Ben tries to explain the truth, but bounty hunters block the road. Because Ben's death would hurt the ratings, the drones attack the bounty hunters instead. Ben realizes how completely the game manipulates reality. He gives Amelia a gun and asks her to trust him. An announcement claims Ben has taken her hostage. Ben tells Amelia she is now part of the game but promises she will not harm her. A full team of hunters confronts him. Ben claims he has strapped a massive bomb to his body and demands a plane to Canada for himself and Amelia. Killian agrees. On board, Ben forces the hunter's leader to remove his mask and discovers he is Evan, a former contestant who survived 29 days and later became a hunter. Ben then realizes the pilots are hunters as well. Killian calmly reveals that Ben was scanned before boarding. There is no bomb. Evan raises his gun, but Killian orders the other hunters not to shoot. They disarm Evan instead. Killian praises Ben for taking the Running Man to a new level and makes him an offer. Ben can become a hunter earning $5 million per season, killing contestants for the show. His first task would be to eliminate everyone on the plane. Ben refuses. Killian then threatens Kathy as the show cuts to a live broadcast, revealing Ben's location and claiming his family is in danger. They tell him that if he wants to save them he must kill the hunters. At that moment, Ben snaps. The hunters rush him. He fights back savagely, taking them down one by one and sending the plane out of control. Evan attacks next and nearly kills him. In the struggle, Ben traps Evan's parachute cord in the plane door and stabs him to death. With only one parachute left, Ben orders Amelia to use it. She jumps. Ben enters the cockpit and speaks to Killian one last time. Killian again offers him the position of hunter. Ben refuses. His family has already been destroyed, and now the public is cheering for him. Ben goes live on air and exposes the truth. He reveals that his family was framed and killed, that AI technology has been used to manipulate footage, and that the Running Man has destroyed the lives of the poor. Killian immediately cuts the broadcast and replaces it with an audio message claiming that Ben is attempting to crash the plane into the studio building. Killian remotely takes control of the aircraft and directs it toward the tower. Just before impact, a missile strikes the plane, destroying it midair and saving the building. Shortly afterwards, Bradley releases a full analysis video exposing every lie, every staged moment and all the AI-generated footage used throughout the season. Public opinion instantly turns against the show. One clip even suggests that Ben may have survived. Viewers see an escape pod eject from the burning plane. 2 days later, Kathy and Sheila are seen shopping under new identities. A cashier mentions that someone has taken Kathy's socks. Sheila steps outside and Ben is standing there alive. The next season of The Running Man is scheduled to begin soon. But now, the entire crowd supports Ben and demands that the show be shut down. Bobby refuses to continue as host. Killian threatens him with a gun, but Bobby reminds him that the contract allows him to quit. He walks away immediately. Forced to take the stage himself, Killian faces a furious audience. The crowd storms the studio, smashing everything in sight. Killian tries to escape but falls. In the end, Ben steps forward and puts a bullet through his head.